Hello, I'm Pam Carruthers of healingstars.com. This is the chart. It's the full moon, 24th of April, and it occurred very early in the morning, and it's set for British summertime, and I'm using the whole signs to represent the houses. So here's the moon in Scorpio, 4 degrees of Scorpio. That MC means it's the midheaven. It's right at the top, the highest point in the sky. Very visible if you're up that late or early. And here is the sun opposite in Taurus. So the sun is now in an earth sign, which is a very good, solid celebration. And we will be celebrating Beltane, and that's on May the 1st. However, the sun won't be exact until later when it gets to 15 degrees. Anyhow, we have at last come out of the eclipse season, I believe. And we also have finished the really heavy, difficult energy that Mars has had when it joined Saturn. Now, Mars and Saturn really, it's like I always say, driving a car with the brakes on when Mars approaches Saturn. So it's now clear. It will then join Neptune. And that is actually quite a really interesting time next week, because we have Venus currently. Where's Venus? Let's find Venus. Here she is in Aries. Venus will move into her own sign of Taurus on the 29th of April. And on that same day, Mars joins Neptune. That's quite an interesting day. Mars and Neptune are a very spiritual combination, very spiritual, very much about your vision, tuning in to the signs and I use tarot cards, so, any kind of divination is really appropriate on that day. Then, the day after, the 30th of April, Mars will enter its own sign of Aries. So Venus and Mars, both of them, will be in their own signs, which always means a planet does well. It's at home. It's got friendship there. And, Taurus is all about beauty and the flowers, the spring flowers we're having at this time in the Northern Hemisphere. And just that appreciation of beauty. It's all about perfume. It's all about pleasure, with a capital P, should I say. And then Mars can really go ahead. It has been hindered being next to Saturn, and also it's not strong when it's with Neptune in Pisces. But now, for 6 weeks roughly, Mars gives us the go-ahead and the energy, which is what I believe all of us need. We do have, at this full moon, a square, a right angle. That's the tension to Pluto in Aquarius, another fixed sign. Pluto will be going retrograde, and that's on May the 2nd. So there's an awful lot going on next week. Really, and this often happens with astrology, that planets often change sign, more than one at the same time. So that Pluto will go backwards, and it will actually go back into Capricorn for the last time, and then start to move forward again. So it's like there's tension there. The moon, in turn, is Scorpio. It's governed by Pluto, but traditionally it's governed by Mars. So that's where the focus is, I believe, right now, is about Mars. We have got the Jupiter and Uranus conjunction that we experienced just last weekend. They are still very close to each other. So Jupiter will be moving, and it will be changing sign into Gemini, and then it will definitely finally no longer be next to Uranus. But this is also, it is unpredictable. It is. And I did suggest people play the lottery, and one person, she got 2 numbers right in her. And so it's kind of thing of, does it bring you joy? It's something that I don't often do, but it's like, why not? Somebody has to win. But it's also the joy, the jubilation that Jupiter can promise us. And that becomes especially relevant when Venus moves into Taurus, because Venus will then, over her journey through Taurus, she will then join up with Uranus and Jupiter. I haven't looked at that date, but I will. So one thing to take away, the stress that you might well have been experiencing over the last 2 weeks is easing. And the other big event, Mercury will move forward. It's been retrograde all month, so long time. And it will move forward actually just the day after that full moon, and at 13:54 British summertime. And that, of course, will be the 25th of April. So a sigh of relief, because I don't know about you, but I have definitely had problems with Mercury retrograde. You know, passwords not working, or you can't log on, you have to use a different browser, all of those niggly things that are to do with emails, internet, things going wrong, everything. Oh, I go. And Mercury is not really happy in Aries, it's not, because it's governed in turn by Mars. So welcome Venus, welcome Mars, and see if you can enjoy life a little bit more coming next week. Thanks for watching. Pam Carruthers of healingstars.com.